Okay, good day everyone. We are back in Lamplight City. Last time we finished the second case, which was the kidnapping. Let's see what happens when we go through this doorway. Oh no, she's here. Okay.
You're up at last.
Is something the matter, Addie?
Oh, I see. You don't remember last night, do you? I guess
No.
I shouldn't be surprised.
Sounds like I'm in trouble. I hope I didn't do anything stupid. Whatever happened, I hope you can forgive me.
Whatever may have happened, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Remorse comes before forgiveness, Miles. You don't even know what you're apologizing for.
Was it that bad? What exactly did I do?
It was nearly 2 when you burst in here, soused to the eyeballs from God knows where. I imagine you've probably forgotten that too. You were muttering something about peace and quiet and then proceeded to relieve yourself on my begonias.
Oh, what the f...
Charming. I salute you, O Vice Admiral of the Narrow Seas.
Jesus.
Good God, how embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Addie. I don't know what came over me.
I don't either. I've never seen you in such a state, and I pray that I never will again.
You won't... This was a one-time thing, I swear. A bit of more than I could chew. It won't happen again.
I just bit off more than I could chew last night. I promise you, it won't happen again.
What possessed you to go out and get so drunk anyway?
I decided to stop taking the soporific. It was interfering with my ability to focus on cases. I thought perhaps having a drink or two would help me sleep, and I got a bit carried away.
Just a bit.
Well, I'm at least glad you've stopped taking that terrible medicine. Trading it for alcohol? This had better really be a one-time occurrence. Anyway, you got another message from Upton.
Yay.
It's there on the table, if you're feeling fit for the world now.
Okay, let's have a gander. Okay. Fordham. A new case has come in, but the police are already investigating. Details have made their way into the newspapers. I won't be able to meet you at the ruin. So here are the details. The deceased is Desiree Letham. Her apartment is at 840 Right Way. Good luck, see Upton.
Huh.
What does Upton say this time?
That she can't meet me, and that I should go straight to the scene of the crime.
I wonder if that means the police have started to suspect that she's giving you these cases.
She also says news of this case has been made public, and police are already investigating.
Hmm.
Desiree Latham?
Yes, there's something about her in today's paper. I didn't read the article, though. Where's the crime scene?
840 Right Way. It's not too far from here, thankfully.
You're sure you're feeling up to this today?
I am.
Fine. The mental exercise will get me back to normal in no time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being concerned. Right, let's see if we can read this article then. There's the last case. There's the case before. Oh dear. Doesn't look good. Oh wait, no, this is this case. Yeah, okay. Oh, here's the one that Addie was talking about last time that looked like it was a serial killer. And then here is something about the election. I have a feeling we're going to be involved in that in some way in the future. Let's read this case first, or should we leave this case to last? Yeah, let's leave this case to last. So Harris baby found, suspect in custody. So this is the case that we just solved. Charles Harris, infant son of Malcolm and Miriam Harris, was kidnapped days ago from his crib at the Harris family manor. Police investigators determined that Linda Walker, a friend of the baby's nanny, was the kidnapper. Walker was arrested in Pierre-Lorraine. After fleeing New Bretagne with the child, Charles is second in line to inherit the Harris Construction Company, a large contractor in the New Bretagne, currently building the HMS Lenore, the airship intended to replace the fallen Lygia. Chief Police Reginald Snelling issued the following statement: "My detectives should be commended for the outstanding work they did in finding the baby, Charles, and bringing him home safely. Let this be a lesson to all criminals that the New Britannia police always get their suspect. Okay, let's read this boring one about politics next. Prime Minister's campaign heats up as election looms. The election night, less than a month away, Prime Minister Herbert Atwood has lashed out against the opponent in full force. My opponent, Mr. Leroy, if elected, will push this country back at least 20 years. Atwood went on to describe how Leroy's refusal to acknowledge the existence of effervescity, as well as the lukewarm stance on steam technology, would be detrimental to Vespucci's progress. Leroy, meanwhile, continued to chastise Atwood for his prioritization machines over humans, saying that if he is re-elected, unemployment rates will skyrocket when most workers are replaced by automated machines. The latest public opinion poll shows Atwood with a comfortable lead. However, many have criticised the polls for not including the majority of the workforce. Leroy's strongest supporters continued on page 12. Right, let's read the serial one now. Third mysterious murder has police on edge. Yet another murder in Cholmondeley Shore has New Britannia police scrambling to quell rumours. Chief of Police Reginald Snelling, what the fuck is that word? Vehemently denied that there is a mass murderer stalking in the shadowy corners of Lamplight City. We have no indication whatsoever that the recent Cholmondeley murders are in any way linked in the case. In any case, detectives are working their hardest to make sure the killer or killers are found and brought to justice, he said. The Gazette has learned that the latest victim is Enos Bowditch, a construction worker. Police were called at his home, where they found him in a single gunshot wound to the head. Despite Chief Snelling's claims to the contrary, the previous two victims have also been men in Cholmondeley who have been killed in exactly the same manner. The Gazette will continue coverage of this story as more details emerge. Here we go. Gascoigne Grand Dame found burned to death. Desiree Lathan, aged 63, was found burned to death in her home yesterday morning. Police were called to the scene by a neighbour who smelled smoke, only to find the grisly scene. Miss Lathan in her bed, body burnt to ashes. The circumstances of Miss Lathan's death are unknown, but the police have not ruled out the possibility of foul play. Lathan was born in New Britannia, the daughter of a wealthy plantation owner. She grew to become one of the most loved and respected of the Gascoigne Grand Dames. Although she had many suitors over the years, Lathan never married, and an avid reader, writer and poet, Miss Lathan had several articles published in the local newspapers and magazines. Residents of Gascoigne said they would miss seeing her in her brightly coloured hats and dresses as she walked by. Okay.
Well, this is shaping up to be quite the investigation. I should probably get a move on before the police ruin the crime scene any more than they already have.
Good luck, Miles. And stay away from the bars, would you?
I'll try. Let's see if she says anything.
What is it, Miles?
Okay.
What have you been up to lately?
Nothing particularly exciting. My usual clients have been scheduling appointments, and I've been trying to get some new ones as well. In my free time, I've been catching up on my reading.
Anything good?
Yes, the conclusion to the dissembling mechanism was just published in Brentwell magazine last week.
Nice.
James Penstroke's latest serial. I wanted to read it to you, but you haven't been around much lately.
Oh.
Perhaps I'll take a look now that I can actually concentrate again.
Yes, you could read it to me. I wouldn't mind hearing it again. It would certainly be a nicer way to spend your time than going out drinking.
Okay. Apologize.
Addie, please know that I'm deeply sorry for my behavior last night. I'll do everything I can to make it up to you. Would you like me to get some new begonias?
I don't need pretty flowers or pretty words, Miles. I just want things to go back to how they were. That's really all the apology I require.
Fair enough.
You're looking especially lovely today, Addie.
Miles, don't flirt with me. Not now.
Wouldn't push my luck with her, Miles. She hasn't completely forgiven you.
Let's not compliment her again. Desiree.
Desiree Lathan a client of yours by any chance?
No, but plenty of the other grand dames used to gossip about her.
What sort of things would they say?
Usually they'd comment about how much she'd had to drink the night before. I got the
Oh.
impression she was quite the tippler. I hope you're not planning on following her example.
That would require me to burn to death in our bed.
Oh dear.
Stand by my previous statement.
Let's just end the conversation.
Book.
Let's not compliment her again, not until she's forgiven me. Okay, all saved up, let's go.
Enjoy your reading. I'll be back soon.
Take care of yourself out there.
Okay. Okay, so we've only got the one place to go.
Looks as though we've arrived fashionably late.
Hmm.
Excuse me, sir, but this is an active crime scene. We can't allow members of the public.
Oh, this isn't just any member of the public, Kane.
Mm-hmm.
This is Miles Fordham. He used to be one of us until he killed his partner.
Wonderful. Officer Parsons is on the scene. It's a shock the apartment isn't in a shambles.
Good day to you too, officers.
Fordham? What are you doing here?
Ah, Captain Snelling. What a pleasure.
That's Chief Snelling now, Fordham. I don't expect you follow the workings of the department much these days, but I'd appreciate the proper address.
So nice to see that power hasn't gone to his head.
My apologies, Chief Snelling.
You haven't answered my question. What in blazes are you doing here?
I read about the case in the paper, thought I'd have a look. I figured investigating the crime would actually give a chance of it being solved. I just dropped to say hello to my former colleagues. Let's go with the top one, although technically it didn't have an address in it. So how would we have known? But we'll still go with the top one anyway.
Front page news. I couldn't resist coming to have a look for myself.
There's no respect for police business anymore, damn meddlers. This is an active crime scene, Fordham. Leave the premises immediately.
Admit it's Stelling, you need my help. If we work together we can solve this in no time. You can try and keep me away, but I'm not giving up. I like the bottom two. I mean, actually I like all three of them. Let's try and be nice.
We could solve this case in no time if we work together, you know.
We don't need any help, not even from former detectives. Parsons, I'm going back to the station. I want your report the minute you're done here. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, don't get any funny ideas, Fordham. If you so much as breathe on anything in here, I'll have you arrested for tampering with a crime scene. Do I make myself clear?
Yes sir, sure, whatever you say, Chief. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Let's go with whatever you say, Chief.
Sure, whatever you say, Chief.
Keep your nose where it belongs, or you'll have me to answer to.
I won't. You're not fucking my boss anymore.
I suppose it's reassuring that even in this crazy, ever-changing world, you can always count on Snelling to be a complete ass.
You heard the chief. No snooping around. The sooner you get out of here, the better for all of us.
Judging by these books, Miss Lathan was quite the fan of poetry. Let's just hope her taste was better than Madame Dupre's. No title. I doubt it's a diary. People rarely leave those things laying out in the open. An invitation to the Gascon Grand Dame's Ball. It seems it was held 2 nights ago at the Gascon Supper Club. Might be worth looking into, seeing as it's our only lead right now.
Fair enough, okay.
You have to hand it to her. Miss Lathan certainly had a unique taste in fashion. I bet you could see her coming a mile away. Definitely too young to be Miss Lathan. Perhaps a relative?
Excuse me, Officer Parsons.
Clear off, Fordham. The chief doesn't want you here, and neither do I. You aren't on the force anymore, so you've got to respect the rules, just like every other citizen.
He'd be respecting my fist if I were alive, believe me.
I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I just want to ask a few questions.
Well, if it will get you to leave faster.
Oh, okay.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Nothing.
Because you don't know?
No, because I'm not going to betray Chief Snelling's orders and divulge that information to the public.
Come on, Parsons, you know me. What harm would it do to tell me just a little bit?
Do I state the obvious? If it were up to me, you'd be in jail for murdering an officer.
I wouldn't make such claims without knowing the facts, Parsons. It could get you in serious trouble. It'd be a real tragedy to see your career cut short and you back in the workhouse polishing airship rivets.
You don't scare me, Fordham.
Rest assured, the feeling is mutual. Have you made much progress on this investigation?
Did you not hear me the first time, Fordham? Drop it before I have to arrest you for interfering with a police investigation.
You're looking well these days, Parsons. What's your secret?
Secret? I don't know. Maybe something about getting a good night's sleep without blood on my hands? Does wonders.
How long has Officer Kane been on the force?
I'm not one to gossip, Fordham.
That's only the second most hypocritical thing I've heard today.
Ask him yourself if you're so interested.
I will do.
Why was Chief Snelling here anyway?
He's the chief of police, and this is an official investigation. It doesn't take a grand leap of logic.
Yes, but the chief of police never bothers with a crime scene unless it's of great importance.
Your point?
Does that mean this crime scene is, in fact, of great importance?
You're the investigator, Fordham. I'll leave you to work that one out.
That's all I wanted to know.
Good.
Well, let's see what Officer Kane has to say.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
How long have you been on the force, officer?
2 months, sir.
And how's it treating you so far?
This is where I was meant to be.
That's good to hear.
Parsons mentioned you used to be a detective?
I was, yes, for 15 years. It wasn't always easy, but I loved every minute of it.
Parsons goes on about how he's got his eye on becoming a detective, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
Is that right?
Yes, he's up for review. I think he's trying to impress Snelling to improve his chances.
Parsons wants to be a detective? Now I've heard it all. As if he needed more of a reason to be Snelling's lapdog.
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I'm afraid not. You don't have clearance in this investigation.
And there's nothing I can say to convince you otherwise?
My superiors would be very upset if they knew I was breaking the rules. I'm sorry.
I think the operative phrase in this instance is if they knew. We need to find a way to get Parsons out of here. Maybe we should visit Upton at the station.
Okay.
Enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
I don't like to talk about my colleagues, sir.
So that's a no.
Especially when they're standing right over there.
I understand. Perhaps this isn't the right time to be asking. What was Chief Snelling doing here?
Nothing more than a routine inspection of the crime scene.
Routine inspection? But the chief of police only goes to extremely high-profile crime scenes.
I couldn't possibly comment on that, sir.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
Okay, let's see if we can speak to him again. Oh, we might be able to.
Parsons?
What is it, Fordham?
I hear you're looking to become a detective, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Shouldn't be a difficult bar to clear, given the caliber of some former detectives.
The process isn't easy, you know. You have to prove you're the best of the best.
Don't think I'm not aware of that, Fordham.
I'm just saying, standing around here isn't going to do you any favors.
I know that. First chance I get to shake this grunt detail for a shot at some real investigation, I'm all over it.
Parsons' eagerness might be something we can use to our advantage.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to know.
Good.
Alright, let's go talk to... Actually,
Nothing new to ask.
okay. Let's go talk to Upton. See if we can get her to get him a case somewhere else.
I didn't imagine we'd be coming back here in this lifetime.
Fordham, have you solved the case already?
Don't I wish? I haven't even gotten started.
Well, I'm here if you need anything. Just be sure not to let Snelling see you.
Is he back yet?
He arrived a few minutes ago. I expect he'll be sequestered in his office today, so you shouldn't have to worry too much.
Good to know.
Okay, so what have we got here?
Prime Minister Atwood watching over the department with his signature scowl. I don't think I've ever seen anyone reading those books. I'm half convinced they're purely decorative. The old Jack and Stars. Sure was nice when that sign didn't apply to us.
What does it say? No admittance person beyond this point. Something like that. Oh, no unauthorized person beyond this point. Okay.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Back to work, I see.
Yes, well, the coffee shop holiday had to end eventually. I'm gonna have to find someplace else to meet you. The higher-ups are getting suspicious.
To be honest, it was a bit wretched there. I won't miss it.
Well then, Mr. Big Bug, you can have the honor of choosing the next place. Under a bridge somewhere, perhaps.
Have you been able to find any leads on Bill's death?
Have you?
Not yet, no.
I don't want to get your hopes up, but I may have something.
Oh?
The man you're looking for, he was burgling a flower shop, right?
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice that in the last 2 cases you've had, plants have been used to drug people. It may just be a coincidence, but I also think it's something worth looking out for. If
True.
there's a pattern, there's a good chance it might be related.
2 different people did the drugging.
True, but in both cases, they learned from someone else.
It's a stretch, but it's better than nothing. I'll take it into consideration.
Yeah, that's good. I like
I'm
that.
having some trouble with Officer Parsons.
You and everyone else who's ever met him. What's the problem?
He's keeping me away from the Lathan crime scene.
Of course. He's one of the most loyal to Snelling.
Any suggestions for how I might get him away so I can look around?
I might have an idea. There are several reported crimes that haven't been assigned yet, and Parsons is itching to prove his investigative chops. He'd probably abandon his post for a good enough lead and a chance to impress Snelling.
Up to no good. You impress me.
Department politics are something of a specialty of mine.
I see the Gazette has caught wind of this supposed mass murderer.
Yes, Snelling has been positively fuming about it. Between that and the Lathan case being publicized on the same day, it's been a nightmare for the department.
Any idea how they got the information?
I don't think anyone in the department has spoken to the press. Maybe they just have some very good reporters.
So is it serious? Should we be concerned?
3 murders is nothing to sneeze at, but all the victims have been men in Chumley. If that changes, then things might start getting urgent.
Isn't that just the way of things? You can bet they'd have already caught the bastard if the first body had turned up in Leon.
Any updates on the Harris baby?
He's back home and doing well thanks to you.
I'm glad to hear it.
You did an impressive job. I admit I was a bit concerned about how you'd fare after months of taking it easy. But I suppose detective work is like riding a bicycle.
It's a guaranteed way to end up with a broken arm.
About getting Parsons away from the crime scene?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. The body of a young man was found in the Hodgman River by the Gascon docks this morning. A woman in Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage. And that's it for right now. Any of those strike your fancy?
Let's hear about
Let's
more.
hear about the gunshot.
Ethel Williamson reported hearing a sound she described as a single gunshot coming from her neighbor's apartment last night. She said she had been hearing arguments over the past several weeks, and there may have been domestic violence involved. When she knocked on the door, she got no answer, but she said she noticed the distinct smell of flowers.
Intriguing.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
Yeah, but I don't want to give him that case. That's the problem. I'm pretty sure that's connected with our serial killer. Let's try another one.
Actually, let's try another one.
All right, which one?
Tell me about the body found at the docks. Actually, what about this one?
The details about the factory explosion.
The owner of the Hawkins Steelworks reported an explosion at his factory that killed 2 of his workers. He says he's been getting several threatening letters about his current project.
And so he suspects someone has sabotaged the operation?
Yes, likely the Redites. Do you think Parsons will be interested?
Sure, let's go with that one.
Sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
I wonder if I'm meant to give Parsons the case about the serial thing just to get it going. Oh well, I've done the bombing one now, so. Okay. I went to the wrong place, but woman. Okay, that's a good description.
Excuse me, miss?
Oh, well, hello there, handsome. I've never seen you around here before. Care to join me for a drink?
Isn't it a bit early? Sorry, I need to keep a clear head while I'm on duty. Thanks, but I'm afraid I'm married. I'm not going to say that one because I have a feeling she'll come back with so. You know, something like, whoa, what's it matter? Or something like that. Let's go with...
Thank you, but I'm on duty.
On duty? What are you, a cop?
Force of habit. I'm a private investigator, actually.
Oh, not much better, if you ask me.
The name's Miles Fordham. And you are?
Charlotte Robineau.
Pleasure. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
I suppose not. It would help pass the time.
Were you here for the Grand Dame's ball the other night?
Of course, we all were. Well, except for Laura. Terrible business.
You mean Laura Dupre?
The very same. Have you met?
I have. In fact, I investigated her attempted murder.
Is that right? I heard she ended up in jail for torturing her servants.
Yes, it was quite disturbing.
I didn't think Laura was capable of such a thing. She always seemed so kind. I guess we all have our dark secrets.
Does that apply to you as well, Miss Robineau?
If I told you, then it would no longer be a secret, would it?
Fair point. Do you know Desiree Lathan?
I knew her, yes.
When did you last speak to her?
Oh, it's been ages. She and I haven't had much to do with each other for a while.
Why is that?
It's really not important. We just didn't see eye to eye on a few things.
Was she at the Grand Dame's ball?
Yes, she was. Drinking up a storm as usual. Desi really knew how to enjoy herself.
How much did she drink?
Oh, I don't know. She used to outmatch me, and I can handle quite a bit.
What can you tell me about Desiree's death?
Just what I've read in the papers. She burned to death. It's horrible. She certainly didn't deserve to die in such a gruesome way.
Did she have any enemies? Anyone who might have wanted to do her harm?
No. Everyone loved her.
Except you?
Mr. Fordham, I said we haven't had much to do with each other. That doesn't mean I didn't care for her. Now please, let's drop the subject.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Why, Mr. Fordham, I hardly know you. Said I'm always open to making new friends.
Ooh, watch out, Miles. I think she's getting ready to pounce.
You have the most radiant smile, your hair is quite lovely. I greatly admire your fashion sense. I think any of those would sound pretty good. Let's go with... fashion
You've really
sense.
got a great sense of fashion and style. All the other Grand Dames must be jealous.
Oh, you.
A second one?
I must compliment you on your lovely hairstyle.
Oh, how sweet of you to say. Though it is getting a bit ragged. I'm having it done this afternoon, in fact. My girl Adelaide is a treasure.
You don't say.
Ooh.
She must be talented to improve on near perfection.
Oh, such a flattering tongue, Mr. Fordham.
Should we do a third one? Sure.
Can I just say you've got the most radiant smile I've ever seen?
Oh, why, that's very sweet of you, Mr. Fordham.
It's true. Not many women your age still have
Oh, don't say that.
I beg your pardon.
I didn't know you were such a master of the high kick, Miles. You got your foot in your mouth in record time.
I just meant... You know,
You idiot.
never mind. Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink.
Thanks, sweetheart.
You should not have mentioned her age.
The
Moron.
bridge to Lyon overlooking the House of Parliament. I suppose that seeing that helps the patrons of this club put on airs. That painting depicts a hand dropping a bunch of blood-soaked silver coins into another hand. Definitely sets the bar for the type of people who come here, I'd say. These are all high-end foo-foo liqueurs and cordials. You couldn't pay me to drink that rubbish. These are all high...
Okay, well, let's go to the back here. Oh, he's still around.
Damn, looks like Parsons didn't take the bait. He must not have considered that case enough to prove himself to Snelling.
Alright, well, let's go back to the police station.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Unfortunately, Parsons didn't take the bait.
Nothing worse than a picky investigator. I wish more people were like you.
Thank you?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. The body of a woman and any of the...
Right, let's go with the gunshot.
Gunshot.
Ethel Williamson reported...
Yeah, we already heard it.
She... Do
Intriguing.
you think Parsons...
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
Looks like Parsons took the bait. Now maybe we can finally have a look around the crime scene.
Okay, I accidentally skipped through it, but if you ask Upton to review the case, she says basically she can't help you. Let's go back actually, I want to talk to Adelaide. Or Addie.
Ah, home at last.
It's good to have you back.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
You've got an appointment with Charlotte Robineau later today, don't you?
Are you using your detecting skills on me now?
I spoke with her at the Gascon Supper Club and she mentioned you. Turns out she knew Desiree Lathan.
Makes sense. That social circle is tiny.
She wasn't very forthcoming, though. Do you think you might try and persuade her to talk?
Persuasion shouldn't be necessary. She usually just sits in the chair and starts gossiping up a storm. I think I know more about all the Gascon Grand Dames than anyone should.
That's good. That's very good.
Huh. I don't know, Miles. Don't you think we should at least investigate the crime scene first so we have all the details?
I think there's a few more things I need to clear up before I'm ready.
Okay, just let me know when you are.
Okay, cool.
I'll let you get back to your book.
Nice. Right,
I shouldn't...
Don't work.
let's go back to the crime scene. You can get in now. Hopefully get in now anyway.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I couldn't really say.
Come now, I'm trying to help this investigation. Any small detail would be useful.
Well, I haven't really looked over the crime scene too much. It's rather gruesome, you see.
Is the body still here?
Yes, what's left of it at any rate. Miss Lathan was only identified by the tattoo on her foot.
I see.
Okay, so it might not actually be her.
Has there been much progress here?
Snelling and Parsons examined the scene, that's all I know.
Do you think I might have a look, now that the initial investigation's been conducted?
I'm afraid that's out of the question, sir. I have my orders.
Rules were made to be broken. There may be something that was overlooked. Promise it won't take long at all.
Officer Kane, I'm trying to aid this investigation. There may have been something overlooked by the others.
If Parsons were to catch you, my career would be over.
Trust me, he won't be back for some time. I swear on my honor as a former member of the New Britannia Police.
All right, I suppose you can go in for a moment, but please be quick about it.
Thank you, Officer Kane. I promise this will stay between us.
I just love rookie officers. They're so gullible. I once got one to shine my shoes for a week after convincing him it was department policy. Good times.
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
If I'm being honest, he can be a bit much sometimes.
Trust me, you're not the only one who feels that way. I didn't have much interaction with him when I was a detective, but the few times I did weren't very pleasant.
I could tell he doesn't seem to care much for you. Although I don't think he cares much for anyone except the chief, and that's only because he's the one who gives out the promotions.
What was Chief Snelling doing here?
He was inspecting the crime scene.
Yes, but why was he involved? Is there something special about it that would require the chief of police to look into it?
Well, someone thought it might be related to the big case we're not supposed to talk about.
You mean the mass murderer?
Yes, sir. I could see why the chief is upset that the news has gotten out.
And is it related?
No, I don't believe so. But the news reports have been getting the public on edge.
Of course. The less information there is, the easier it is for rumors to start spreading.
Exactly. Chief Snelling has a lot of fires to put out.
If that's the case, it's too bad he didn't get to Ms. Lathan in time.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
Okay, let's go. Oh dear.
It's certainly a pungent aroma. I can see why the officer stuck to the living room.
Surprisingly modest quarters for a grande dame. You'd never guess she could buy out the likes of you and me 1,000 times over.
Okay, well, before we actually do that, I'm going to end this part. So, hope you've enjoyed. Next time we will obviously investigate the crime scene and see what else happens. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day, everyone. Hopefully speak to you soon. Bye.